Hey my dudes, my name is Cecilia and welcome to Bageriet Lördag, the Saturday bakery. The menu this week is so light and fresh and summery, I'm so excited about it. We have mini princess cakes, lemon bars, Arraksboll scones, and sockerkringlor, Swedish sugar twists. Now, if you don't know what Bageriet Lördag is, it's the bakery that I run from right here in my apartment in Stockholm, Sweden. I sell pastry boxes, and every single box has one of the items I just mentioned. So 4 different items, and the menu changes each and every week. Now, with that being said, this is the second week in a row that I am making princess cakes, but I just love them so much. And the technique is a little bit different than my normal mini cake, so I wanted to do it again and really just like lock it in. It's gonna be a great week. Let's get into it. It feels so good to be back. For the last 2 weeks, instead of doing any pastry boxes, I've instead been going to birthday parties, hanging out with friends, and going to book events. Because, oh yeah, my cookbook just came out. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Fest och Fika and was published here in Sweden in Swedish. Right now, there are no plans to translate it into English, which is not my fault, by the way. I got a Swedish publishing deal because I live in Sweden, and then I've had multiple meetings with big English language publishers, and no one wants to translate it. So you'll just have to fly to Sweden, buy the book, and then while you're here, you can buy a pastry box from me. Wins all around, right? Anyways, as nice as it's been to do other things, I really love routine, and I love Bageriet Lördag. So I was so happy to just be back home and back to business. As always for a Wednesday, it's a prep day. I scaled out all the dry ingredients for everything I would need for Thursday. I was a little pressed for time today since Axel, my fiance, and I shared the kitchen. It's so small it's hard to be more than one person unless we really need to be. But I needed to do all of my scaling and then get out so he would have enough time to test a bunch of recipes. He's finishing up all the recipes we will use for the pastry boxes this summer and then is just getting started on the recipes for Thanksgiving. The plan is to have Thanksgiving done by mid-July so he can move on to Christmas so that we can have that locked and loaded by the end of August. Kind of crazy, I know. So all that to say, I didn't scale out everything today, just what I needed for tomorrow, and then I'll scale what I need for Friday on Thursday. We've sold 80 boxes this week, which is a new number for me. Don't ask me why I chose that. I hope my math is right, but I stickered and folded all 80 boxes, and while I was doing that, I was listening to Wheel of Time, and I know you're all dying to know where I'm at in the books, and for your information, I'm about a third of the way through book 14, which is the last book. There's a chapter coming up that is over 9 hours long, and that's just funny. Who writes a 9-hour long chapter? But then again, who reads a book or even a book series like that multiple times over the course of multiple years? Crazy people, that's who. Which is reminding me of, that meme that's like, oh my God, she's so quirky. That's me in saying that right now. LOL. It's Bun Day, the best day of the whole week. Today I had 4 rounds of dough to mix, so as usual, I got started with the first round right away. I set that to the side as mixing each dough takes about 25 minutes, and so I used my extra time to pop together a butter and sugar filling. I've been using vanilla paste instead of vanilla sugar lately, and it has been so delicious. With that done, I still had quite a bit of time, so I decided to knock out a round of scone dough. Because I'm making so many scones, it's easier to do a couple batches. I thought it would all fit in the big silver bowl, but of course it didn't, and I had to switch to the big pot. The dries got mixed together, and then I added some butter I had grated and frozen the day before. This worked so well. Once all the butter was covered in flour, I threw in cubed almond paste and, like the butter, broke it up into smaller pieces and covered it in the flour. I poured in the cream, stirred it around a bit, and then dumped the whole thing onto the counter. I find it easiest to mix it together this way. It can be so annoying reaching down into the big pot. Once the dough came together, I put it on a sheet tray lined with some parchment paper and placed it in the fridge to rest. By this time, the first dough was done, so I took that out and popped the second round in the mixer. The first dough also went on a sheet tray in between pieces of parchment, and it was on to round 2 of scones. I did the same thing again, dries in the big pot, add in the butter, then the almond paste, then lastly the cream. I mixed that together a bit, tipped it out, and kneaded it by hand just until it all came together. That got placed in the fridge to chill, and then bun dough round 2 was done. Round 3 went into the mixer, and round 2 was put in the fridge, and I moved on to the cookie base for lemon bars. I lined 4 trays with parchment and then put those to the side and mixed up the dough. This base is very similar to a shortbread cookie, but instead of cornstarch and sugar like I normally use for shortbread, I instead used just powdered sugar. I ended up kneading the dough together by hand as well, since mixing in the bowl was really starting to irritate me. Round 3 of bun dough was done, so I put round 4 into the mixer, put round 3 into the fridge with the other ones, and then I divided the dough for the lemon bars into the 4 separate trays. In each, I pressed the dough into as even of a layer as I could and then baked them until they were golden brown. The 4th and final round of bun dough was done, so I put that away, took out the first round, and got to shaping. Same thing as always. Roll the dough out, slap on the filling, spread it out all the way to the edges, top third comes down, bottom third comes up, readjust a bit, and then slice into strips weighing about 100 grams. Each strip got twisted into a rope and then into a little pretzel shape. I did the same thing 4 times in a row, just bam, 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 and then put all the buns in the freezer. With those done, I could move on to my last task of the day, rolling out and cutting the scones. Each piece of dough was quite large. I measured and cut so that I got 21 squares out of each piece, 3 by 7, and then each square got cut into a triangle, giving me 42 scones per piece, so 84 scones all day, which is great because I've sold 80 pastry boxes. It's almost like I planned it that way. Friday was a busy day. Because it's mini cake day, Friday is always busy, but because I was making princess cakes this week, it was extra, busy because they take a lot of work. I had not finished with the lemon bars the way I had wanted to on Thursday, so I decided to knock those out first. The bases were already done. I just needed to do the lemon topping. Essentially, you just make a lemon curd, but don't take it quite as hot as you normally would. In this case, 77 degrees Celsius instead of 82 or 83 degrees Celsius. As soon as it was cooked, I strained it and then immediately poured it over the bases I had baked off the day before. With the curd in the pans, I carefully sealed them with foil and placed them in the oven to bake for about 10 minutes. Once those were done, I moved on to the vanilla pastry cream. In a normal princess cake, there would be a layer of pastry cream in between some cake layers and then a mound of whipped cream over the top of the cake. That wouldn't really work for these mini cakes, so I combined the pastry cream and the whipped cream into what is called a diplomat cream, and then I topped the cakes with that. But the pastry cream has to be made the day before, so it has time to chill. With that done, it was time to make marzipan. Now, could I just go out and buy this? Yes, of course. But where's the fun in that? It's just almond flour, powdered sugar, egg white, and green food coloring mixed together. Easy peasy. Finally, I could move on to the actual mini cakes themselves. The cake is aanslag, which in English we would call a genoise. We have found that we can cook all the egg and sugar together in one big bowl and then divide that up and mix batches of batter separately. 100% of the lift in the cake comes from the whipped up egg and sugar mixture, and we don't have a very large mixer, so it's important that the batch sizes aren't too big so that each round of egg batter, or whatever you want to call it, can get whipped to its full potential. Flour and then melted butter is gently folded in, and then it gets spooned into the mold, which is not oiled. Very important that they aren't oiled, as the cake needs to climb and cling to the sides. As soon as the cakes come out of the oven, we flip the tray upside down and let it cool that way so that they don't deflate. Once the cakes are fully cool, I run an offset around the inside of each mold and then flip the cakes out and then just scrape off the little tin bottom, and once the tray is full of cake, I wrap it in plastic and put it on the speed rack. Saturday was such a good day. I love when a bake day is smooth and it feels like I actually know what I'm doing. So I woke up at 4 a.m. and thank God I did, because the buns were ready to go. Usually I wake up at 5 and the buns aren't even proofed and I have plenty of time to do other things, but not today. It was like this last summer too. As it gets warmer, Axel has to pull the buns from the freezer later and later, and I have to wake up earlier and earlier because wow, do things proof quickly. All the buns got pulled to speed rack trays as soon as they were baked and then left to cool. Once the buns were done, I moved on to baking off the scones. I took them directly from the freezer and placed them on parchment-lined trays. It took quite a long time to bake, but it was fine because, as I said, I'd gotten up so much earlier in the morning. 2 trays of 12 took almost 30 minutes in the oven, so while those were baking, I brushed all the buns with butter and then later dipped them all in sugar. This took a lot longer than expected, and the scones were going in and out of the oven at the same time. This was definitely a more intense morning than usual, as every single pastry needed some sort of garnish. Like usually, I can bake off the buns, sprinkle on some sugar right away once they're baked or whatever, or like the cookies just get baked off and they are what they are, but today every single thing needed a garnish. The buns got brushed with butter and sugar, as I said, and once the scones were cooled, I whipped together a punch ganache. Punch is like a type of liquor that's popular in Sweden. I spread a thin layer of the ganache on each scone and then dipped it in chocolate sprinkles. At this point, even though things were going really well, I was really starting to get into the weeds, so Axel jumped in and helped me finish the scones. With those done, I portioned the lemon bars. This went really fast. I cut each tray into 21 pieces, and then I could move on to the mini princess cakes. First, I had to roll out the green marzipan marzipan for the tops. I probably should have done that on Friday, but I didn't, so I just had to hustle a little bit extra. Once all the tops were cut out, I rolled out pink marzipan for flowers. Axel and I tag teamed these. I punched out the flowers themselves, and then he punched out their centers. We continued to tag team the cakes because we were really down to the wire. I piped a dollop of raspberry jam onto each cake, and then Axel came in and piped a dollop of diplomat cream. I placed a disc of marzipan on each, and he dusted the cakes with powdered sugar, and then I placed a pink flower on top. Last thing we had to do was decorate the lemon bars with edible flowers. I wasn't kidding when I said everything this week needed extra garnish. Matilda came over and we packed the boxes, placed them in the wagon, got in the elevator, and headed out the door and into the park. It was such a beautiful day. All right, my dudes, let's taste some pastries. So excited for this week's box. Genuinely, I feel like everything turned out so well this week, and I'm just like, it's such a summery box. It's a good one. I have kind of tasted these things, right? But I haven't tasted them as in eaten through the box. That's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna stop talking so we can start tasting. We are going to start with this little lemon bar. How cute is that? So it's like a shortbread bottom, and then like a very, very intense lemon curd on top. And then we decorated with some edible flowers. They're edible. Someone on one of my other videos was like, all those flowers that you put on that cake, were they edible? Yes, of course, of course. My favorite thing about this lemon bar is how acidic it is. It's very punchy, which I think is really nice. Delicious. This week's scone, ridiculous. Look at that. So the scone itself, chocolate, it has these big pieces of almond paste in it, and then we coated it in a punch ganache, and punch is like a type of liquor that's common here in Sweden. And then we coated it in sprinkles. The idea behind it was like an Arraksboll, which is another type of Swedish pastry, but I just think it looks so good. Look at those big pieces of almond paste. Now that right there, that's a good scone. So good. The bun and sockerkringlor. So what makes it a kringla is this shape, which is a little pretzel shape, and then the socker part is sugar because this is coated in butter and sugar. Man, I make a really good bun, you guys. Wow. And this week's piece de resistance. We made these little princess cakes. It really tastes like princess cake. Look at this. So all the traditional princess cake elements are here in this mini cake. This is the same cake batter as when I make a really big normal size princess cake. I've just baked them off in my mini molds. And then we have raspberry jam, because what is a princess cake without raspberry jam? Awful. That's what. There's obviously the green marzipan and the little pink flower on top. And then usually in a princess cake, there is a layer of vanilla pastry cream, and then the whole thing is covered in whipped cream. But the combination of whipped cream and vanilla pastry cream already exists, and it's called a diplomat cream. And so we just made a diplomat cream. And so that's what's piped on top here is diplomat cream. And it's so delicious. Such a good box this week. Love. And that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you cannot come to Stockholm, but you really want some of these pastries, the mini princess cake recipe has now just been posted, and it is on my Substack for paid subscribers. The sockerkringlor recipe has been on my YouTube channel forever, so if you want a full tutorial, that is linked in the description down below. You can find that here on YouTube, and the full recipe is for free on Substack, also linked down below in the description. If you are in Stockholm and you want to buy a box for yourself, then you can follow at Bageriet Lördag on Instagram, and if you would like more short form content, then you can follow at Cecilia.Talone on Instagram and TikTok. If you would like more long form vlogs just like this one, as well as recipe tutorials for things like the sockerkringlor and a whole host of other buns and other recipes, then you can follow me here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button down below. I hope that you have a great week and that I'll see you around next week. Hej då!